excited. I made potato latkes for the girls the other day, and I guess they hadn't had them in a long time because they're like, that's amazing. We want that again. So we're doing it again. We're sharing it with the world. And the best thing in the world to have with duck is potatoes, or potatoes with duck. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook some duck, and we're going to cook the latkes in the duck fat. And I cook a lot of duck at home, but like a lot of people don't. And usually people say to me, they're like, it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know. Duck is kind of aggressive. Like, what do I do? So I'm going to show you what, hey, Bronwyn, thanks for joining. Bronwyn, to back up. Bronwyn, just come over and have the duck. We're going to, so we're going to cook this. So when you have duck, there's a little bit of a nuance, and that's why I want to dial this in with you guys. We want to start with a cool pan. This is my pan. It's pretty cool. It just really turned this on. I'm going to turn it on. This is like my hot burner right here. And I'm going to turn it on low because essentially duck has a lot of fat. And here's my duck breast. We want this fat to render. It's going to be incredible. The skin's going to be amazing. But we do want it to render down. We're going to cook the potatoes in it. So what I did, I salted this. If you can salt it ahead of time, great. If you can't, if you're just pulling it out of the package and going, that's fine. But it's a really good idea to take your knife and score it in like a hash pattern across the duck fat. See how I did this right here? Boop, boop, boop. That's going to give us more surface area for the heat to penetrate, and we're going to render that fat out before the duck overcooks. They're hungry, so I got to move. It's dinner time. So we're going to put this down in our cool pan, and we're going to let that start cooking right there. I'm going to wash my hands. All right, so you can see it's really not doing much, but I will come back. It's going to start doing something. And the reason why we want it to just sort of chill as the pan gets hot is so that that nice duck fat can slowly render off the duck. So I can show you, because I so fancy, but I got one going over here. And this is what it looks like. You can put salt later, sweetheart. Thank you for coming over, though. Why don't you put a little salt in that egg? I got a helper. I got Coco here. Coco in the house. Coco, say hi. Hi. So, when we flip the duck, this did cook for like 15 minutes upside down like that. We cook it, we flip it right side up, and depending on how thick the duck is, we can just finish it right in the pan, but for these purposes, we're going to pop this onto a tray, and we're going to use this amazing duck fat to make our potato latkes. So I'm going to scoot this guy over. That guy can still cook over here.
Mommy, I'm blending it.
I know, you're doing amazing. Okay, and this guy is going to finish off in our oven. Now, okay, on to our potatoes. I'm still here, so is Coco. Coco, say hi.
Hi.
Hi, this is Dakota. All right, so we have an egg, and we're going to beat this egg. And Dakota added some salt. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And
Can I add some salt to
maybe
the potato and just go with that for a second?
and a little bit of pepper. So I'm going to whisk this up. If you have a box grater, that's great. I have this flat cheese grater. And it is, this is my ideal thing. Because what I want to do is I want to grate these potatoes right into the bowl. Because potatoes will oxidize. Once you peel them, they will start turning brown. So you want them to go right into liquid. If you do it ahead of time, I had these in water before, so they don't turn brown until you're ready to work with them. But as soon as you start working with them, they have to cover. So we're going to put them right into this, this egg. All right, so we're grating these potatoes. And you can hear the duck sizzling over there. See that duck? Looks awesome. Starting to move. And if you don't have to like time it perfectly, but like it is great. Like when we cook duck at home, which we do quite a bit. The girls like it, and it's it's fairly easy to get, and it's very easy to cook, and it's so delicious. So much better than chicken, in my opinion. So if you can save the duck fat, like if you don't do this, but you cook duck, like save the duck fat. I have a little jar, and it's just so amazing. You can cook anything in it, but obviously, and I know John Jay knows me on this, it's all about the potatoes, the duck fat and the potatoes. So I have 3 potatoes grated into here, and I think that's about enough for my 1 egg. This is about 1.5 cups of potatoes. And now for the fancy part, we have an onion. And rather than chop this onion and like put all this effort into this onion, it's a little guy, so I don't even need a knife. I'm just peeling it, and then check it out. We're just gonna grate it. We're just gonna grate the onion. All of the latkes can just be made with the cheese grater. I mean, how cool and easy is that? Side note, I do this with mushrooms sometimes, but we'll talk about that another time. So much information, right? Okay, so now I've got grated onion, and grated potato, and that beautiful egg. So this is all going to mix together. I'm not exactly sure how much salt Coco put in there, so I'm going to do a little bit more because I like things seasoned quite nicely. Put a little more pepper. And then just going to mix this. Now the potatoes are a binder, but we are going to add a little bit of flour. Now I hear you saying, OMG flour, it's gluten, can't do it. That's fine, we'll come up with a solution. So we do latkes a lot for our clients who are kosher. We make them for Hanukkah. We make them for Passover. Especially with Passover, you can't add anything, So you could do breadcrumbs, you could do matzo, you could do flour. We can be creative on this, but for my purposes, I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of flour, and this is really just going to pull these guys together. Maybe we'll add another one because we got that 3rd potato in there. So we're just going to mix this up. And that's it. I mean, we're really just going for the flavor of the potato and that nice onion to round it out. And look at this duck fat. Like, look at that. I mean, are you so excited? I am so excited. So the big thing is that we're making potato pancakes, but we're not going to make them flat. We don't just want like a hard, crispy chip. We want like the inside to be nice and soft and delicious. So I am going to take, I guess it's probably about 2 tablespoons full, and I'm going to plop that right here, but I'm not going to push it down. Like, I want it to kind of stand up a little bit. And you see how it's sizzling? Like, we want it to get going. We do want it to sizzle nicely. This will be I did a small pan because this is my only cast iron, and John Jay, cast iron, right? What's up? But, if you're doing a lot, like, you don't want to make a few batches, like, just do a larger pan. So we're gonna pop these guys in here, right? And they should cook by the time the outside gets crispy, which will probably just be a couple minutes. It's just gonna be gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to turn that up just a little bit, turn our heat up a bit. And, see our duck? Let's see what's going on with this duck over here, right? It's going. We've got some color. The fat is not rendered. So this is when you watch. This is when you watch and wait, because sometimes it's thick, sometimes the fat is thin. It depends on what kind of duck you get, where you get it, when you get it. So this is when you got to just pay attention. It's not going to start cooking through that meat until the skin, gets through the fat. So as long as that fat is still in there, it's not really cooking the meat anyway, so it's not like you're really overcooking it at this point. And then our potatoes, oh my God, they really smell good. Like, I feel like now I want it to be brunch. I don't even want it to be dinner. I want it to be brunch. And I also have some green beans, which I'm not going to worry about right now because we're not talking green beans. But I'm going to probably toss these in some of this duck fat and toss those in the oven as well, just so we have a nice balanced meal. It's got to be balanced. And it's all about the duck fat. So it's been a couple minutes, and these guys are crisping up in our pan. I want them to get a little more color before I turn it. You can move your pan around depending on how your oven works. But it's looking pretty fresh. One thing to mention about the duck, I told you I put some salt on it. I also like thyme for duck, if you happen to have it. You know, I love taking fine dining techniques and recipes, bringing them into the home. And for that reason, I don't usually talk about using tons and tons and tons of ingredients. It just makes it hard. It makes it seem like I have to go out and buy all these things. So if you don't have it, don't worry about it. Like, we just need the salt and the pepper and the oil and the fat or whatever, and that's it. Like, we're just cooking, and it's going to be delicious. We just need some really good ingredients. So it looks like, oh, shout out for Misfits Market. Look at that. It's looking nice. Misfits Market is where I've been getting my vegetables lately, and they send some pretty fun stuff, and basically it comes in, and I'm like, all right, what are we going to do with this? And that kind of makes it a little exciting. So let's check this guy. This guy's looking good over here, but we're going to get a little more color on him. And we will flip our other potatoes. Voila, parfait, delicious, hash browns. I mean, who doesn't love potatoes? Some people. I guess some people don't. But, like, I love them. They're so good. And these are so fun. So we had them the other night, and the girls were like, oh, my God, this is amazing. So now it's in the repertoire. Now it's happening. It's going to happen all the time. And, again, with that grater, if you have a grater, it just makes life so easy. Isn't that beautiful? You could make these ahead if you have leftovers. We're going to keep them, make some breakfast. I poach some eggs in the morning. We'll do that. We'll do that on a Saturday sometime. Harper, what do you think? We'll poach some eggs? We should poach some eggs one of these days. Not right now. We'll save that for our breakfast demos and our fried rice demos, because those are coming up soon. Stay tuned. Thank you for coming. Tomorrow, if anybody's around tomorrow, we're going to make tomatillo chicken with the American Copper Building, like we did last Friday. So tomorrow at 7, we'll be drinking some wine and making some tomatillo chicken, getting our Cinco de Mayo recipes all geared up. So I'm very excited for that. So keep tuning in. I really appreciate it. Here we go. Looking good. Looking good, friends. Looking good. So I'm just going to let these guys chill for a minute. I'm going to grab that duck out of the oven, the one that I started. This guy over here is looking very lovely. And I'm going to flip them. I'm going to flip that. Look at that. We can finish that right on the stove, too. Now I'll show you. Looking good, right? And we got all that fat at the bottom. And this guy we finished in the oven. Looking pretty fresh. I kind of want to let it rest for a little bit, so I'm not going to plate it. But I do want you guys to see these potato pancakes one last time. It's, oops, sorry. Slippery hands, duck fat hands, what. It's beautiful, right? It's crispy, it's amazing, but it's thick enough to have like a nice soft interior. And we're going to slice up this duck. I will get my slicing knife. Some of my good knives I left in the kitchen. I gotta go get them, but let's do this. Let's check out this beauty, and now the girls can come in for dinner. Everyone's happy. We're taking the potato pancake, our beautiful shingle duck, right? Beautiful, beautiful. See the juice? See it? I actually got some microgreens in my misfits, so we're gonna do that. And voila. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good dinner time, everybody. Talk to you soon. It's Kate Holmes, the chef. You're watching Carried Away Chefs. I am Kate Holmes, the chef, no Ellen Holmes. See you tomorrow night. Tune into American Copper Buildings if you want to watch Tomatillo Chicken. Good night, everybody. Am I not done? I thought I was done.